Hello and welcome everyone. It is my honor to be here with each and every one of you and to represent the Million Mom Movement. I do have my council member Dominique Jeffries, who is on here as well. And we have a little bit of a different format for our presentation today. So bear with me. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll go ahead and get started. This new presentation is all about helping to support our community to build momentum as we're all working together in this community to represent the Million Mom Movement and expand into other communities. And so, welcome to the Million Mom Movement. Thank you for being a part of this movement. Each and every one of you here is an integral part of what we do here as a community, and we thank you for being here with us. And today's presentation, let me see if I can get my slides to go, is about building momentum with the Million Mom Movement. And so maybe some of you all don't know my story. I've actually been a part of this community for 11 years. And when I first got started, the Million Mom Movement was a website. There wasn't a whole lot of action. There was no calls around the Million Mom Movement. And you can see here I am with my son, who's just a few months old. I first got started when he was about 4 months old, and he's grown up using Purium in his daily life. And so maybe some of you have followed my journey. I've used the hashtag. I built my business with my baby on my hip. And that follows my whole story throughout the past 11 years. But I first started as a postpartum mom and I had 5 kids in 4 different schools. I was extremely busy. I was actually still working part-time throughout my entire pregnancy, and I was really undernourished and overwhelmed. I was dreading putting my baby in daycare so that I could return to a part-time job because when I really thought about it, that part-time job would basically only cover the babysitter and the gas money to get to work. And so it really didn't even make sense for me to return to work at that point. And that's when my friend Willow shared the benefits of this nutrition with me, as well as the opportunity that provided me a way to stay home with my baby. And so I started to build my business with my baby by my side. Excuse me, my screen disappeared on me here. Let me find where I was at. Excuse me, guys. So as I built this business, let me find where I was at. Please excuse my technical difficulties here. Um, as I've built this business with my son, from the time he was young, and I had all these kids in school, it was something that really allowed me more time and location freedom to be able to support my family the way that I actually wanted to. And so let me get back to where I was. Give me 1 second here. Thanks for your patience. All right. Can you see my right screen now? All right. So when I first started my business, I really started with home parties, and that's something that we're really promoting right now as a way to start your business. There wasn't a whole lot of coaching around it, but I just invited people into my home. It was something I did consistently every week. And I also had beach meetups with other moms, so that I could take my kids with me. I made events that fit into my lifestyle. I always brought healthy snacks with me and some superfood drinks to share. And before I knew it, I had replaced my part-time income and was able to fire my boss, so to say, because I never went back to work after maternity leave. Um, and this was something that just allowed me more time to be able to build my business from home, as well as to have my baby by my side and not miss any of those milestones. And so over the last 11 years, I've not only been able to stay at home and raise my children, but I've also created time and location freedom and been able to afford things for my family that I couldn't see possible in the past. Being able to travel, being able to go see family, taking the kids on different excursions, having different experiences that in the past may not have been possible. And my passion is really in supporting other moms and families to be able to create this type of income that allows us more freedom to live the life that we choose. I often say that we have the ability to create our life by design. And so I really love that line. And so you can see right here under the picture from 2015, when this was in my first year of business, I was able to create a full-time income that made more than I had ever made at any job. And I was quote unquote just a stay-at-home mom. And I think that's something that's really important because so many people, I hear this so often, like, I don't have an education in business. I don't know how to do this. And so it's really important to know that anybody can do this business. And we're here to support you with all of these tools to leverage. So let's dive into that. Today's power session will give you everything you need to weave Purium lifestyle into your daily life. So, our agenda is to recap the best takeaways of Purium's business Zooms from this past week. We're going to promote new product education Zooms, emails, videos, and other freshly created marketing assets. And we want to teach at least one business building skill that you can use immediately woven into your life that you're already living. So, we really want to help you implement this business on this weekly call. And so our kickoff call was quite incredible this last week. I'm curious, drop me a one if you were on the kickoff call. I'd love to know who all was there present on the kickoff call. If you'd like to share one of your takeaways in the chat, go ahead and share something that stood out to you. There was a ton of information about how engagement creates momentum and how when you show up and stay consistent, your business will grow. And so it's really important that we show up and stay consistent. Something that I've had to learn over the past 11 years is consistency is key. Keep showing up, keep sharing what you're doing, whether it's in your stories, on your social media, in your daily life. People see what you're doing and they're going to want to know more. So stay consistent. Also, they promoted lots of February promos. You know, we know that promos reward action. So we really have to lean into those promotions so that that way we can get the extra points that the company puts out there for us as incentives that actually leverage our business. So know that everything they're asking us to do are things that are going to help our business and they're actually incentivizing us to do it. So there's no losing and doing the action because you're getting business credit regardless. And then of course all the events that we have on the table, how to invite to events and how to have conversations. So if you don't know about the events, we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on here. Make sure that you know those are on the calendar. And then, of course, we have so many tools to help you invite and start those conversations and even follow up with those people. And then our digital marketing kit. This is amazing tool that has everything we need all the time to keep your business going. And so if you don't know where to find the digital marketing kit, it's super easy to find. You can go to puriumbusiness.com, what's important now, and it's at the top of the page right there. And that's actually one of my favorite tools before the digital marketing kit came out was that page, the what's important now page, because every week it's updated and you have everything that you need for that week, all the highlights for the week on that page. On Tuesday, Amy did an incredible business call, Growing Your Business with Amy Venner, and she really highlighted common ground watch parties to spark natural conversations and building a community. So you can add this in Eventbrite link for common ground watch party and do a healthy happy hour to your virtual calendar. So you can go and do that at ishoppurium.com. So we'd actually like you to do that right now in action. If you're not on your phone, or even if you are, go ahead and go to ishoppurium.com. We would like you to go to the event calendar and go ahead and register for these events because it is very important that we register. We know where to find that registration link. And of course, you could copy that link and share it with some of the people that you'd like to invite. And so I see there's a typo on here. Please excuse that. I think we know how to spell Purium, but the website is ishoppurium.com. And then, of course, we want to encourage you to host simple Zooms or in-home events. And the company is actually rewarding you to do this. This actually is so profound because events let the experience do the selling. So people get to hear stories, they get to try products, and they get to have their own experience around it instead of feeling like they're just being sold to. And I highly recommend this. Like I mentioned there at the beginning, I built my business at the very beginning off home parties. I very quickly had to learn how to use social media as my baby got a little bit older, and it was maybe a little bit more challenging to always put him in the car and take him to certain events or have him not, wander off while I was trying to have conversations. Online became a lot easier for me, and I started to set up one-on-one Zooms or Zoom parties. And there's so many different ways that we can share the information with people. And of course, leverage the digital marketing kit. We have carousels made for you. We have the HSA and FSA to grow the reach and close the gaps between people that can maybe have other ways to afford these superfoods. So there's such great information there. And we'd love for you to go watch the replays if you didn't already. So this is just the top few takeaways. There was so much shared on these Zooms. So moving forward, Wednesday with Dave was incredible. He always highlights such knowledgeable information about ingredients and, all of the products and how they work in our bodies. And this month we have some really great specials on the table. And the athletic bio performance biohacking, he talked about muscle retention drives longevity. And staying strong and preserving muscles is one of the most powerful ways to slow aging. So it's important for us to retain our muscles and find different ways to maintain our muscles as we age. And then genes are not our destiny. We often talk about epigenetics, and biohacking is how you reverse epigenetics, right? We aren't prone to the genes that maybe our parents or grandparents had of having an illness or disease. We can actually change that by giving our body the right nutrients to be able to reverse some of those genetics. And that's where biohacking comes in. We have all kinds of biohack packs that can really support you. But this one in particular can really help you change your energy levels, your hormones, and your performance at any age. And then he also talked about targeted nutrition. It boosts performance and recovery. And the athletic performance biohack packs support strength, endurance, hormones, and faster recovery, which is something that I think most of us would like to have, especially if we're out there moving around. It is so great to have that faster recovery and just feel good in our bodies. And so these packs are an additional 15% off. So those of you who are loyal customers, you're already getting a 25% off, or if you're a brand partner, and then there's additional 15% off. So that's huge savings. And if these are products that you use every single day in your daily life, I highly recommend getting it for yourself. And then, of course, talking about it to others, right? The whole point of this is really to get enough information out there so that you feel confident in sharing this information with others. And so, let's dive into the digital marketing kit. This is where you have all of your resources to go find any information that you need to feel confident in what you're sharing. And the amazing thing is every week the company puts out new valuable information. They put out different stories and reels and videos and printables and product details and all types of marketing content that can help support you on your social media as well as your in-person events. So definitely, if you haven't dove in there yet, please go and do that. So I'm curious, drop a 5 in the comments if you have gone to the digital marketing kit, and drop a 6 in the comments if you have not yet. I'm curious how many of you are diving into that, how that's going for you. We're going to dive into it a little bit together. I'm not going to go to the actual digital marketing kit, but I'm going to tell you what some of my favorite things are and highlight it for you. So hopefully we can do some of these things together. So one of the things that dropped this last week is a scavenger hunt, and we have a whole week to complete it. So I definitely would love to encourage you, if you have not yet gone to the digital marketing kit, or maybe you have and you've wandered around there a little bit, there's a really fun way for you to go find all these different resources and get additional business credit for it. How amazing is that? So I'm curious if any of you have actually completed this yet. Just go ahead and drop a done in the comments if you've already done the whole thing. I'm curious if some of us have completed this. Because this is a really fun way to go find all this information. I actually went through there and found all of these things. I was like, that was actually really interesting. And I found some things I didn't even know were in there. Isn't that incredible? And I think that's the whole point is when you go find these different resources, you're going to find other things that maybe you would have been looking for or wondered if we had a resource. And so please go do this. You can go ahead and scan this QR code if you have your phone in hand right now. And you can use these 10 clues to go and find some of these items and take a screenshot to go ahead and get yourself started on this fun activity. And what you're looking for are these specific items that they're asking for with a little, you can see this little, what is it, a goblet, a little like award goblet. And so that's what we're looking for is that gold goblet is going to tell you that you're on the right resource. Take a screenshot and you're going to turn that in the back office. This is going to give you extra credit. What a fun way to create extra credit. You get to earn 100 bonus points just for doing this fun activity. And it's going to help you in your business. It's going to support you in knowing where to find the resources that you need. So let's get into action. If you haven't scanned that yet, go ahead and scan it before I switch my page. My next favorite, of course, is the carousels that are done for you. For those of us that have created carousels, it can be fun and sometimes it can be time consuming. And some of us might not even know how to create a carousel at all. And that's totally okay because you know what? We have so many incredible carousels created for you from the company, and you get to choose like what carousel that you would like to share. So, the way that I like to share it is like those choose your own adventure books where you go down a different, you go down a different chapter for a different story. So you get to choose what story you're going to share on your social media and find what tools are going to support what you're sharing and who your community is that you're talking to. It is important to know who is actually reading these posts and following you. So that way, when you're sharing things of value with your community. So I like this one. I only grabbed the first part of the carousel, but you can grab the whole thing. What if your wellness journey could support your lifestyle and not compete with it? That is such a powerful statement. And I know that if I was going to read that on somebody's social media, I would most likely want to scroll through them and see what the other pages said. And so we're really creating curiosity and conversations. And that's the whole point here. So go and find some carousels that is on the sheet that we were just looking at for to find all the stuff, the scavenger hunt. Excuse me, I was looking for the name of it. So this is one of the things on your scavenger hunt is to go find this carousels for social media. So I would love for you to go and find a carousel. Um, who are you going to share this with? This is for your online community. And then how are you going to share it? You can share it in your stories. You can share it as a carousel, which is how it was meant to be shared. And you can even make it as a reel. And so there's different fun ways that you can share these on the different social media platforms. And then, of course, we don't want to script you. You can write whatever you'd like. Of course, a simple caption or script would be say, this isn't a pitch, it's an invitation to learn. If something here resonates with you, let's talk. Right? So there's no pressure. It's just really an invitation to come and learn more. And there's so many different carousels depending on what you want to share. And the exact micro plan is to share a carousel from the digital marketing kit or create your own and then share it on Instagram or Facebook. And then, of course, we would like to encourage you to use one of these hashtags, either PHP opportunity or PHP before and after when you upload it, and upload your caption and images via the submission form in the back office to get credit for doing this. So not only are you learning how to use the digital marketing kit, but you're also getting to use some of the resources out of it and you're getting credit for it. How incredible is that? Give me a 10 if you think that's awesome, because I think it's awesome. So One of the other things that I always love about our business is stories. We always say that stories sell, right? So this is a really important aspect of what we have here and sharing stories. I went straight into the business and product stories. There's so many different stories to choose from. You can also just choose product stories if you prefer to just do before and afters. But this is a really great way to highlight what we're doing and for other people to see that you're not the only one having success. And there's different stories added in every single week. So you can always go find new, interesting content. And you're going to share this with people that can relate to these stories, right? So maybe you know somebody, you're reading through these stories, and maybe you know somebody that is dealing with some of these issues. You could take that story and share it directly with them, possibly, and say, hey, I saw this story from somebody in my community, and it made me think of the conversation we had the other day. You can share these in your stories on Facebook or Instagram. Again, create a fun reel or post using these different social media stories. And of course, you can create your own script or you can use the one that we've created, which is look at these incredible stories coming from my community. If this resonates with you, hit me up or however you want them to reach out to you, right? Send me a DM, whatever that looks like. So, looking at these stories, look at this supporting myself and my family. I'm Lonnie, a grandmother, community advocate, and generational steward committed to showing up with clarity and integrity. I found Purium during a time of rebuilding and wanted clean, trustworthy nutrition that aligned with my values. As I integrated the products, I noticed meaningful shifts in the energy and overall wellness, supporting both um, me and the example I set for my family. My Purium journey is part of my larger path of generational leadership. I'm in my seed planning phase as a brand partner, taking my time, sharing authentically, and leading from embodiment rather than pressure. My goal is to support seniors, caregivers, and families with simple, effective wellness tools. This is my story so far, and I'm excited to see how it continues to unfold. What a beautiful story from Lonnie. She might just be getting started, but she's sharing even her futuristic goal, even if she maybe doesn't have a bunch of brand partners. So I really appreciated that authenticity of where she's at, where she's going, and where she sees herself going. And then, of course, from customer to Green Diamond. 4 years ago, I was just looking for support in my wellness. I never expected to build a business, but when I started feeling more energized and alive again, I couldn't keep it to myself. As a mother of twins who rebuilt her life after moving from Costa Rica's blue zone, I know what it means to start over and look for real solution. This opportunity showed me it wasn't just about products, it was about helping people feel supported and empowered. Today, as a Green Diamond, my mission is to support single mothers, families seeking simple wellness tools, and women who want a purpose-driven business. This path has given me flexibility, community, and a sense of purpose I am grateful for. So these are all incredible stories. Of course, Shelby has another great story, and each one of these speaks to different people in our community. So when we share these different stories, whether it's on our stories on social media or as a post or carousel, it gives people the opportunity to lean in and read what people are experiencing without you telling them. It can be a conversation starter. It could really be a huge inspiration to so many. And so this last story is the 90-day way changed how I live. I wanted to deepen the level of wellness I was experiencing, and I had no idea how much I didn't know. The 90-day way set the ball in motion for accessing higher levels of health, and for the first time in my life, I felt truly in my body, clear-headed, energized, stronger, more present. What I love is that the 90-day way honors reality. Your body didn't get into its current state overnight, and it won't transform overnight either. This gives you structure and time, a beautiful starting ramp to clear out what's weighing you down and rebuild with real nourishment. Right now, I'm in a season of immersion and integration, refining what works for me and sharing from a place of sustainable and alignment, sustainability or sustainable and alignment. I'm deeply grateful for this community. So I think many of us can relate with some of these stories. And so we would love to encourage you to go share your stories as well. So not only share the stories out on social media, but also there's the opportunity for you to create your story so that you can have one of those slides as well, and others can be highlighting you and your story. And of course, my last but not least, biggest highlight from the training this week was there's a new green diamond in our community, and that's super exciting. That means our community is growing. We have new leaders in the community. So I want to say congratulations to Amber Bodilli and, for your success and for, being able to leverage a system to create an income that actually can really support you. Because we know how it is in this day and age. So many people are working multiple jobs just to get by. And it is such a blessing to have Purium as one of our incomes because this is a leveraged income that can really help us to have more time and location freedom and possibly let go of some of those other things that might be taking up more time and not bringing in the income that we actually desire for our families. So I'm always so proud of people and their success in this community. And so if you're listening, and not yet a brand partner, this is an opportunity to add another stream of income to your life. And if you are a brand partner, we'd love to encourage you to find 10 more people to invite to next week's Zoom because we meet people where they're at. So, what would you like to change in your life right now? Would you like to make an extra $200, an extra $500, an extra $1,000? Put a number in the chat, and it can be a bigger number. It doesn't have to be one of these three numbers. Just put a number in the chat of how much, you would like to be making more right now, even by the end of this month, because putting the intentions out there is everything. And so I just want to encourage you all to go ahead and set that intention and put that out there. So, check back in with the person that invited you here today. You can go to Purium Enrollment. But before we hop off, I do want to highlight one of our incredible leaders in this community and somebody that has had incredible success in her business and who is also a new mom here in our mom community and such an inspiration. And so, Carolina Teasdale, would you come on and share some of your story with us and inspire us with how we can take action this week?
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, it's been a blessing to be part of this business. I'm holding my baby 24/7, and I have the privilege to be able to do that because I'm part of this business. Prior to Purium, I worked as an architect and I was in an office job. I was working sometimes 80 hours a week in an office, and I was under stress. I didn't have freedom, and I could never see myself as a mom because I would have never loved to leave my kids with a stranger. That would have not been something that I chose to do. So I built this business I joined this company about 7 years and 3 months ago. So going into my eighth year. And when I joined this business, I wasn't planning on being a mom. I wasn't planning on having a full-time income out of this opportunity. I just was passionate about the products. I was passionate about health and wellness and sharing this with everyone. And fast forward, I'm here doing this full time. And my baby, she's going to be 3 months. Actually, tomorrow she's going to be 3 months. And I actually went through an experience that I never even could have predicted. My water broke actually a little bit early. So I ended up going into the hospital prematurely. And I had a midwife, I had a doula, right? I had my whole plan. And all of a sudden, I'm like sent to the emergency room. And I ended up being in the hospital for a month and a half. And because of this business, I was able to be present. My baby was in the NICU, and you know, like I say, bills don't pause on the hard seasons of our life. Like all of my bills were due when I was in the hospital postpartum with the baby in the NICU, and I couldn't be present. And this business has been a total blessing because my business was still running in the background. I built my business, I trained my leaders, I put in the time and put in the effort. I did all the work to create that leverage that this business gives us. It's a gift to have leverage. I used to work a 9 to 5, and I knew that if I'm not getting paid today for the buildings I designed 7 years ago, I'm getting $0, but I'm still getting paid for the customers that I brought into this business 7 years ago. So being able to have that financial security, and one of the toughest moments, not only my moment, my husband was there all the time. We didn't eat hospital food. So he was cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He was like a full-time chef. And he was coming and staying with me at the NICU. And, I noticed that there were many other babies when my baby was in the NICU. There was probably at least 12 other babies. And out of those 12 babies, the only parents that were there 24/7 was us. All the other babies were alone in the NICU because their parents have to go back to work because they needed to pay their bills. And I just felt so, so, so sad for all the other babies. I was literally crying seeing all these other babies, newborns, by themselves because their parents had to go to a job to pay the bills. And in that moment, I just realized how grateful I am for this opportunity, and how much I want to share this, because stress makes everything heavier. When you're stressed, everything feels 1,000 times heavier than it is. And we have this opportunity here. And moms carry so much already. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of us are moms here, and I didn't know how hard it was to be a mom prior to being a mom. I actually saw a post on Instagram the other day that said, prior to being a mom, I was literally on vacation every day, because that's how we feel. So when you don't have a child, you're in vacation every single day. And it's been such a blessing to have this opportunity. And I'm not sharing all of this to impress anyone. I'm sharing what's actually possible when you build a solid business with systems, with leadership, with leverage. And it's just, what you're building today is going to help you protect whatever experience happens in your life tomorrow. And I'm sure I'm not the only one here that had tough moments, and this period income kept them alive. And as a mom, I get to enjoy these days. I mean, they're priceless. I mean, she's already like she has a different face than she did like 4 weeks ago. And I still have the opportunity to jump on Zooms, to earn an income, and also to support the household. So I
Amazing.
oh, okay. You want to say something? She's been in all my Zooms. She knows the script. She was on a superfood social yesterday. She smiled at everyone. And it just makes it so fun to build this business as a family. I never thought I would be doing this, but here we are, and I just love it.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And if you could give everybody just like one action step that you think they should lean on this week from all the promotions the company currently has out, what do you think that would be?
Guys, those promotions are a gift. They are extremely generous. When I joined this business and I made it to Crown, we had zero promotions. We have nothing to incentivize us. And now the company is paying us pretty much to do what we are supposed to do. So take advantage, use all the promotions. Literally, it's a gift that the company is giving you. Dave and Amy are extremely generous, giving us these incentives because they're incentivizing us to actually do what we say we want to do, right? Because there's a lot of talkers, very little doers, and the people that actually do take the leadership and do the promotions, those are income producing activities. They will create income. They will help you build your business and build that dream life that you want, because you have to take action to be able to create what you want. You can't just pray and meditate and then sit in the couch and then say this business doesn't work. You have to move the energy, and doing these promotions helps you create that momentum, especially as a mom. It's so easy to be unplugged. I mean, I was unplugged for 2 months. I didn't attend a single Zoom. I didn't lead a single training. I didn't do a single promotion for 2 months because my baby was my priority at the time. And now that I'm getting back in the flow of the business, and this is another advantage. Your business is always going to be there. It's never going away. It's always going to be there. And now I'm doing the promotions. I already feel on fire because I did my scavenger hunt this morning. I invited a couple of people to the watch party that they confirmed. I made flyers, I made the carousel, and like I feel pumped. So if you need that extra push to get you incentivized to do the work, just start with the promotions, and that's going to create a little momentum. And Amy was talking about inertia yesterday. You just need a little bit of force, a little bit of energy, start gaining that momentum, and the promotions are the perfect place to start.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. And thanks for coming on with your beautiful daughter and sharing. So beautiful to see you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Give me one second here. So we are a part of the Million Mom movement, and to create a million moms or a million people on this movement together, it takes 1,000 of us, each sharing with 100 people from 10 different communities. So this is what it looks like: 1,000 advocates in Purium and going out to 100 different communities between us and each sharing with 10 other families. That's how we're going to reach a million lives. And so, who are your 10 people? And I think you often see this. I hope you all saw this on your declaration day this last week. Is the list of 10 people. Who are you going to share with this month? So make sure you reach out to those 10 people, you include them in your invitations, whichever, whether you're inviting them to a Zoom or a watch party or a live event or, a phone call wellness consultation. Don't forget to reach out to those people, follow up, and get them enrolled. So these are all of our current promotions for February. If you happen to miss it on the kickoff, go ahead and take a screenshot so you have it readily available to look at. There are so many different ways that you can get additional volume in your business by taking advantage of these. So, invitations to events. There was let's see, the mini marathon ends tomorrow. So please, if you haven't finished that yet, go ahead and finish and submit the 30 people that you called, and you'll get 100 GQV. That's a great incentive for your business. Of course, PHP My Story. Go out there and share your own personal story. We read a few stories. We heard Carolina's story. You heard my story. There are so many different stories to share. And so, whether you're sharing your futuristic story, what has already happened, or what you're wanting to accomplish, there's so many different ways that you can really just encourage your community to lean in and see what you're doing. So, this is a conversation starter when you create your stories as well. And there's going to be 10 winners announced. So, do this before the 20th of the month, and you could be one of the 10 winners that actually gets 500 GQV. That's a huge incentive. You guys, please go and submit your story. And it's important because then we'll get to share your story just like we're able to share all these other people's stories. And if you've done your story in the past, you can always revisit it, which is what I'm going to do, and resubmit a new story. Um, Letter from your future self. Tracy did a beautiful training on that. And so you can go watch replays from last week as well. And this is a great way that you can also help your business. It's actually helping you to see where you're going to be in the future. And you can reverse engineer your business with the AI and help you to figure out what you need to do on your daily action steps. So if you don't know how to do that, reach up to your upline and ask them for some help. Of course, carousel content, like I said earlier, this was one of my highlights. I love that they create such great content for us. And it's super interesting. It promotes curiosity and creating conversations, which is really what we want. And the company is rewarding us 50 points per submission, and you can do up to 4 submissions in a month. So please go ahead and do that. Make sure that you do those. Even just one a week, and you've got your 4 for the month. So do at least one this week, and then throughout the rest of the month. And then the scavenger hunt, like I said, please go and fill that out. You have about a week to do that. It's going to help you to learn the DMK so that you know where to find the resources you're looking for. So it's actually a really great incentive. Host a Purium event. Like I said, that's how I launched my business. I hosted Purium events. So whether it's in your home, I always say create consistency. So if you do it in your home, maybe what I did when I started, I did them every Friday and I did them for like 8 weeks straight. And then I changed the date and location, or maybe just the date and time to accommodate other people. So, however consistent you want to be, but it really does help to have consistency because if people might miss it 1 week, maybe they can make it the next week. So create those events. Again, if your home isn't the right place, you can find other places. I had beach party mom play dates where we brought our kids and hung out at the beach, and you can bring snacks and drinks and share what you're doing with other moms. It's creating connection. And oftentimes, if you can give another mom's little toddler a green drink and they love it, mom is going to be sold because at that age, when they're little, they don't want to eat anything other than like macaroni and cheese and pizza, probably. So, this is a huge win for our young ones and for all the moms that are trying to figure out how to get more fruits and veggies into our kids. And then, of course, the special promo is the extra 15% off the biohack packs. And when you buy these, whether you're a customer or brand partner, all the biohack packs have an extra 50 GQV along with it. So that's a really great incentive as well. And then there's the UBT bonus. Of course, if you've invested into the ultimate business transformation, then you can turn those points in weekly. There is so much here for you with all the different things. They're also giving you for 50 GQV earned at customers' third consecutive lifestyle subscription shipment. So if you have some customers that are on their first or second month with Purium, make sure that they get through that third month with their 90-day subscription. There is a little incentive for that. And of course, Transformation Now. We love this. If you haven't already taken advantage of it, get your Transformation Now, and then you can be able to hand off boxes on demand to people in your home or at the different live events that you might be doing. And then, of course, we have Widen Your Reach and Share Because You Care for those who are qualified for that. So let me move my Zoom toggles around. Excuse me, they're all in my way. And so we do have some upcoming events. We want to encourage you to go register right now for these upcoming events. And so these are really great to help you get into action, to share information with people in your community. And for some reason, my page isn't loading. So let me see if I can get the next one to load. So we have an upcoming Superfood Social. This is a really great event. So be coming up in Southern California at our corporate headquarters. And there's a really great opportunity for people to go meet Dave and Amy, the owners of our company, get to have conversations with other brand partners and leaders in the community. If you can make it, please go. And you can share your story there as well as invite people to come and participate as well. So if you are in if you have the availability and you can drive there or fly there, please go. It's an amazing opportunity to go and learn more and connect in with our community. And then we also have Common Ground that's coming up. Sorry, I put them in the wrong order. This one is February 15th. It's coming up first. And this is going to be an online watch party. So we're actually providing a belly to belly event as well as an online event for all of you to tune into so that even outside of your own personal Zoom events or house parties, there's other bigger community events that you can invite to. And we've done this Common Ground viewing party in the past with Kiss the Ground, the prior movie, and we had such incredible success. And then again with this one coming out a couple years ago, it's been amazing to watch this together in a group with other people and see how it really is eye-opening to the effects of our food and our soil and the fact that there is solutions. It can really be eye-opening for a lot of people that aren't aware of the current state of our food. And so we would love for you to go and register for those. So when you go and go to the DMK. You can find those events as well. I think it's actually part of the scavenger hunt and go and register for those events so that way they're already on your calendar. And then of course, we would love to invite all of you to collaborate with us. We're looking for more collaboration from our community. We really want to highlight you, your stories, your trainings, your knowledge, and your passion for being a part of this community. So we've actually created a link for you to go ahead and turn in a type form. And so let me go ahead and grab that for you. And that link is really helpful because you can fill out the type form with your information and you can provide either a success story that you'd like to share on a future Zoom, like what is the gist of your story. You could share a tip of like what you'd like us to do trainings on. Maybe your team needs a specific training on how to use Canva or how to create reels or different things. We can also do different trainings if you would like to provide a training. So that type form is very versatile. It's actually allowing you to tell us how you would like us to, how you would like to be highlighted in our community, or how we can use a resource, create a tool, or a script for you. So we'd love to invite you to become a part of our community if this is your first time here. Of course, reach back out to the person that invited you here. And then we want to invite you to like, follow, and share so you can really tune in more with our community. So you can like our Facebook page, Million Mom Movement. You can join our Facebook community, Million Mom Movement Official. It's a page on Facebook where we share a lot of resources that you can use. And then you can follow us on Instagram. Tag us on your stories and posts so you can be highlighted in our stories or reposted on our social media. And then, of course, last but not least, please subscribe to our YouTube channel where this replay and so many other replays are hosted. We have over 300 replays that highlight all types of different situations in health and in business through our Million Mom Movement community over the past 5 years plus. So I'm really grateful that each and every one of you are here today. Every one of you here is a part of the Million Mom Movement, and you are creating momentum in our business, in our communities. And without you, it wouldn't be the same. So thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And we still have a little bit of time. So if anybody would like to share a little takeaway from these last week's presentations, something that stood out to you, a highlight, a golden nugget, I'd love to open it up for a few shares. Just go ahead and raise your virtual hand if you'd like to share a tip or something that stood out to you from this last week. Well, if nobody has anything to share, I can see you all again next Thursday. Of course, tune in to our Monday call with Debbie, our Tuesday business opportunity call, Wednesday products and passion with Dave, and then we'll see you again next Thursday here with the Million Mom Movement. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Until next week. Bye for now.